Hi, Ryan Michael Galloway here with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com. I'm still getting a great opportunity here to talk with David Spangenberg, and he's also affectionately known as Professor Pooch. You can find him at ProfessorPooch.com. He's an entertainment law expert out of Philadelphia. And David, you still with me?
I'm with you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So we've been talking about a number of things around contracts and that sort of thing. And one of the things that just came up in the downtime between captures here was the idea of trademarking / copywriting or somehow protecting your name. And I imagine that could be your individual name, it could even be your band name. Can you give us a discussion around all that?
Yes, there's a big difference between copyrights and trademarks. A lot of times I get people coming to me, hey Pooch, how do I copyright my name, so nobody else can use it? And believe me, you should do a check on your name, because one band came to me, there were 5 other bands using the same name.
Wow.
I'm not exaggerating. But you cannot copyright a name, you can't copyright a title, a phrase, you can't do things like that. But you can trademark them. My recommendation is very simple. Put trademark into Google and you will make sure you go to the actual trademark site, the government, .gov site.
Gotcha.
Because otherwise other people, they'll do it for you, but it'll cost you a lot more money. And
right.
To trademark your name is going to cost you a minimum of online of $325. But it's very important if you want to sell product, with your name, and you go through all this thing, and then you find out somebody else has your name, and you can't even use it.
Right. Right. That's boy, and it's like one of the things down here in Texas, we joke about the fact that you got to have 3 names to be a songwriter in Texas, and also an assassin. But that's another different story. But with very few exceptions, like Willie Nelson, you could probably just go by Willie and you'd know who he was. But there's so many of us between Jesse Colin Young and I don't know.
Well, I haven't heard that name for a while. I used to like him.
Yeah, so he's from down here, and we got Ray Wiley, Hubbard, all these different folks have got 3 names.
You have a rich tradition of people down in Texas. That's for sure.
Well, what I found out was when I used Ryan Michael Galloway that there's nobody else there, particularly in the music business with Ryan Michael Galloway. It's very, even beyond just protecting the name, if you come up with something a little unusual or a combination that is rarely used, you can own it on the internet really fast just by putting out a lot of product and blogs and whatever under your name. And now if you Google Ryan Michael Galloway, it's everywhere. But
that's right. And by the way, you can use the TM, the trademark, even without doing it. Without going through the thing. You can use the TM. You cannot use the circle with the R, that it's registered.
I see.
But you should start using it, because they're going to ask you, one of the things they ask you, have you been using it already? Otherwise it's going to cost you extra money 6 months down the line when it's finally approved.
Gotcha.
To prove that you're using it. And if you're already using it, if you can show proof you're using it with that little TM, it's like Professor Pooch, TM,
Perfect.
And you trademark your name, it's really worth it, so that you don't have to worry about somebody using your name.
So what's the R mean? What's registered?
The difference with register is you're actually going through the registration process.
Okay.
It's that's the best way. It's just like with copyrights. As soon as a song, you can see it or hear it, or as the Copyright Bureau calls it, affixed to something tangible. If you can see it or hear it, it's copyrighted. But what you're doing with Washington is registering your copyright, so you have proof.
Yeah.
Because somewhere down the line, when you're going to co-publish with somebody, they're going to ask for your registration number, and if you don't have it, it's like giving them a license to steal.
Exactly. Well, perfect. That was a really good discussion, and we got more coming. I am Ryan Michael Galloway with Professor Pooch of ProfessorPooch.com. I'm with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com, and we'll be back with you at the next post.